this is Jerika. Welcome to my channel. So I wanted to do a video, maybe an encouraging video or a review or an analysis, whatever you want to call it, about this show that I saw on Netflix. My husband told me about it and I decided to watch it. This movie was called 13 Reasons Why. And when I first started watching it, I knew it was about a girl who committed suicide. And I knew it would most likely be sad because suicide is sad. But then, you know, after watching episode after episode and showing, you know, who did what, even no matter how big or how small, you just like, man, every little thing can lead up to something big. So the very last episode, which is the episode where she actually committed suicide, it was so real. I didn't expect them to actually show her slitting her wrist. I thought they were just going to show her, you know, just passed away in the tub or whatever. I didn't expect them to show that, but they did, and it's probably a good thing that they did because it just made it so much more real. But it was insane because suicide is such a thing these days, and I feel like the suicide, I'm probably gonna look this up. I bet you it's a statistic that suicide rate has climbed, especially with the use of social media, because all you see is people with perfect bodies, people with perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect clothes, and it seems like they have the perfect life. They just bought a big house, they got a new car, they post pictures of their significant others and look like they're always happy. And then we sit back and evaluate our own lives like, wait a minute, I'm this age, I should have this by now. This person has this and they're only this age, or why don't I have this and I'm older than them? Or this person got married already and why I'm almost this age and I'm still not married, or I'm almost this age and I still don't have a house, or I still don't have a car, or I'm you know, like, you just compare yourself to everybody else, and social media is just literally a big compare fest. I know that wasn't the intention of social media. Like back in the day when I had my Facebook page when I was in high school, people weren't really, I mean, we got Facebook so that we can keep up with each other, but now Facebook, YouTube, everything has changed to this big compare fest, and everybody wants to post everything they get. And you know, it is exciting, and they may not do it to brag, they're just excited about their accomplishments, which you should be excited about. But what happens is other people who may be working towards something, or other people who want something and can't get it or don't have it yet, you know, sometimes it can be discouraging because you're just like, what am I doing wrong in life? Why isn't this working for me? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Why aren't I married yet? Why am I still single? Why is everybody I meet just a jerk? And a lot of things like that lead to suicide. And it's not saying that you're a weak person because you've thought about suicide. I admit I've thought about suicide before. I've never done it. I've never tried to do it, but I feel like sometimes, I'm not going to say everybody because everybody probably doesn't struggle with this, but if you struggle with suicidal thoughts, or feeling like you're worthless, or feeling like no one cares, or you feel you're tired of being mistreated, or you're tired of whatever situation it is that you're in, it's so easy to just think, wouldn't it be a lot easier if I was just gone? Like, wouldn't people be happier if I was no longer around? Like, I feel like all of us have had those thoughts. I've had those thoughts. Like, wouldn't life be better if I wasn't here? And it's crazy because the girl in the movie had these same exact thoughts, and the last person, which was the counselor, who had a chance to really help her and really dig deep. And you can't really fault him, but that's just what she needed at that time. She needed for him to believe her. She needed for him to be there for her and not try and downplay what it is that she was telling him, which I'm not going to say in case you haven't seen the movie. But he didn't do that, and that was the last straw for her. And it was really sad when Clay was telling him about it, because, you know, he started crying and stuff, because you just don't really realize your impact on somebody's life. You don't realize when it's someone's last day. You don't realize when someone's been thinking about suicide, and what your reaction or your response to them needing help could be a make it or break it for them. And it's not your fault if they do decide to commit suicide, but it'll leave you with this weight, because you feel like, what could I have done differently? What could I have said differently? How could I have been there for that person differently? Like, you just start thinking about all this, how, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and it's also not healthy. So I honestly believe 100% that suicide is never the way, even though it may seem easy because you feel like people may be happier without you, or you feel like you can't get anything right, you feel like nobody likes you, you feel like you're too fat, you feel like you're too skinny, you feel like you're too ugly, your hair is too short, you don't have this, you don't have that. It's so easy to think about what we don't have in life, but a rare small percentage of people think about what they do have in life. Think about what you do have, you know, like make a list every day if you have to. Like every day be thankful for something that you do have or something that did go right in your day. For example, if somebody held the door open for you today, write that down as something that you're grateful and happy for. Maybe today you had an amazing hair day. Maybe your curls just popped the right way today. Write that down. Maybe you got some new shoes today that you've been saving up for the longest. Maybe you got some new weave that you liked, or maybe you bought some clothes that you really love. Maybe you did good at school and you got a good grade on your test, or maybe the boy you like finally said hi. Like anything that happens that's good in your day, you should write it down every day. And once you get in the habit of doing that, you start to realize, wow, I have a lot to be thankful for. Wow, I may not have this, but I have this. Or I may not have this yet, but I'm working towards getting towards that, so that I can have whatever the other people it is that they have in life. You know, you're working towards that yourself. So I want to do this to encourage you. Like if you're ever struggling with suicidal thoughts, I think there's a suicide hotline. If there is, I will post that in the video, and I'll also post that in the comments. But suicide is not the way. And I have seen so many disturbing things on Facebook about suicide, especially this 12-year-old girl. Like her suicide just really stuck with me. And I actually felt really bad for even watching it, but it was just so real, and I just really felt her pain. And it literally made me cry when I watched it. Like I was in a trance like the whole day after watching it, because it was so sad that a 12-year-old girl felt like she was worthless, felt like to be 12 years old and feel like you don't want to live anymore. Like you're only 12, you're not even halfway through life. You're just still in the first quarter of your life, man. And for people to have bullied her and done whatever they did to her, for her to feel like suicide is the only way that I can get out of this. Suicide is the only way I can feel better. Suicide is the only way. So she's literally hung herself from a tree on Facebook Live. And it was so disturbing. And I have so many questions about that video, but it's so sickening and it's so sad. And I'm just so tired of seeing these young kids, these stories of these young kids committing suicide. Never ever ever let anybody make you feel like you're less than, or you're stupid, or you're crazy because you decide to seek help. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just wanted to encourage somebody, and I'm praying that whoever is going through something right now sees this video, decides to get help, decides to talk to someone, whether that's your parents, your friends, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whoever. Talk to somebody if you're struggling with these thoughts. Talk to somebody if you're depressed. Don't let anybody tell you that you're stupid or you're crazy for even seeking help. Anybody that has Netflix, I encourage you to watch it and be mindful of how you treat people, because you just never know. Just be mindful, literally that's all I want to say. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on Snapchat to keep up with me in my daily life, and check out my blog at www.JerikaSyncere.com. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day.